Veteran journalist Job Nelson shot and killed in Kingston. 53-year-old journalist Job Nelson was shot and killed along Spanish Town Road in Kingston Tuesday night. Nelson of Coral Way, New Harbour Village in Old Harbour, St. Catherine, was a sports reporter at the Gleaner Company. Reports are that about 10:45 p.m., Nelson was driving along Spanish Town Road when he stopped at the traffic light in the vicinity of the St. Andrew Technical High School. While there, he was pounced upon by a gunman who opened fire, hitting him. In trying to drive himself to the hospital, Nelson crashed into a utility pole. The police were summoned and Nelson was taken to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The RJR Gleaner Communications Group says it is saddened by Nelson's killing. The group says it is mourning Nelson's untimely death. Meanwhile, newly minted Information Minister, Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, has condemned the murder of Nelson. During this morning post-cabinet press briefing, Senator Dixon said Nelson had over 30 years of experience in journalism. She expressed condolences to Nelson's relatives, loved ones, and colleagues. She said acts of crime and violence should be denounced. And the Press Association of Jamaica, PAJ, is urging the authorities to expedite their investigation and to spare no effort in bringing those responsible for Nelson's killing to justice. In condemning the murder, the PAJ said Nelson's untimely death is a profound loss to the journalism community. The PAJ extended condolences to Nelson's family, friends, and colleagues during this difficult time.
It's always sad when you lose a member of any fraternity, and especially when you lose a member of the media fraternity. And we were advised this morning that Job Nelson, who spent 30 years, he has 30 years of journalism experience. He worked with The Observer and also with Loop, and he passed last night. It was an unfortunate, violent incident, and we express our condolences to his family. We express condolences to all who have worked with him and all who have been a part of his work for those 30 years. Again, these acts of criminality, we have to denounce them, we have to condemn them as strongly as we can. And I know it's difficult for many members of the media this morning, and so again, I express my condolences to all of you.
Cop dies while on duty at police station. Cops at the Halfway 3 police station in St. Andrew are mourning the death of a colleague who died last night while on duty at the station. It is reported that Gordon complained about being tired and went to an area to rest. Soon after, someone called him and got no answer, and when they checked on him, he was unresponsive. They rushed him to hospital and death was confirmed, a colleague told reporters. The colleague said they knew him to be a healthy and vibrant individual. The news of Gordon's passing was disclosed by chaplaincy of the Jamaica Constabulary Force Assistant Commissioner of Police, Gary Fletcher, on the ongoing annual joint conference of the Jamaica Police Federation in St. James. He disclosed that grief counseling is being provided at the station. A moment of silence was observed for the passing of the policeman. Woman killed, several injured in gun attack at Grants Pen. At least one person is dead and several others injured, following a shooting at a popular bar in Grants Pen, St. Andrew late Tuesday evening. The deceased has only been identified by her alias Kim. It is understood that patrons were gathered at the well-known drinking spot when masked gunmen entered the establishment just before 10 p.m. and opened fire. Several people reportedly shot during the incident. According to community members, screams and explosions sounded like gunshots could be heard coming from the bar. The police stated that the investigation is ongoing.
On Tuesday, May the 21st, 2024, about 11:30 p.m., at Pokey's Lounge, located along Shortwood Road in the Grants Pen policing area, it is reported that a lone gunman entered the lounge and indiscriminately fired several gunshots, hitting the patrons who were inside the lounge. Unfortunately, 9 persons were shot. At this time, we do not know who the perpetrator is or the motive for this senseless act, but investigations continue. Over a period of time, we have been conducting a series of intelligence-driven operations in the Grants Pen community, and those operations will continue and will be intensified. We are appealing to members of the public who may have any information that they believe can assist us with our investigation to contact the Constant Spring Criminal Investigations Branch Office at 876-924-1421. That is 876-924-1421, or you may call Crime Stop at 311. Keeping the residents of the Grandspin and the surrounding communities safe is our number one priority.
No bail for jealous woman who allegedly stabbed ex-boyfriend's new lover with a knife. A St. James woman accused of stabbing her ex-boyfriend's current partner in an apparent jealous rage, resulting in the victim undergoing surgery, was found unsuitable for bail during her appearance in the parish court on Monday. Nikisha Collins appeared before presiding judge Fairclough Hilton, charged with wounding with intent. According to court documents, Collins was previously romantically involved with the man who is currently in a relationship with the complainant. The prosecution alleges that on February 16, while the complainant was at her home, Collins arrived there and engaged in a confrontation in which he attempted to stab her with a knife. Two individuals had to step in to stop Collins from causing harm to the complainant. It is also claimed that Collins made a threatening statement to the complainant before the authorities arrived, saying, "Me must kill you." 4 days later, about 8 p.m., the complainant was reportedly on her way to work when she was confronted by Collins, who allegedly brandished a knife and stabbed her in the region of her left breast. The complainant had to undergo surgery due to the severity of the injury. Collins was apprehended in Hanover on March 6 and subsequently charged. During Monday's hearing, the prosecution objected to Collins being granted bail. The prosecution argued that Collins posed a potential risk of fleeing and may fail to appear for her trial. Collins' lawyer Paris argued that in his bail application that credibility was a live issue. He claimed that his client went to the man's house to retrieve items she had left behind and was subsequently attacked by the complainant. However, Fairclough Hilton noted that there was no evidence in the case file to support Collins' claim of self-defense. The judge further noted that Collins had threatened to harm the complainant, and the complainant's need for surgery demonstrated the gravity of the injury. "I don't know of any suitable conditions that I can impose to prevent her from carrying out these attacks," Fairclough Hilton stated prior to rejecting the request for bail. The defendant was remanded in custody until July 4, when the case returns to court. Light-hearted moment between lawyers triggers emotional response from Keith's wife's widow. A light-hearted verbal jolt between a defense attorney and a prosecutor elicited an emotional response from Dr. Claudette Clark as she underwent cross-examination during the trial of 3 soldiers charged with the murder in the shooting death of her husband, accountant Keith Clark, almost 14 years ago. During a temporary pause in the proceedings, King's counsel Valenita Robertson and the prosecutor had an exchange which resulted in a bit of laughter between them. "I don't find it funny. It is not funny to me. It has been a rough time for me," a tearful Dr. Clark told Nita Robertson, who in response told the witness to calm down as she was sharing a light-hearted moment with her colleague. "Madam, your lawyer is running a little joke with me, and you need to understand these things. Just relax. It doesn't concern you. You need to stop," Nita Robertson told Dr. Clark. Considering the emotional state of the witness, trial judge Dale Palmer adjourned the matter until Monday. Dr. Clark is the first witness in the murder trial of Lance Corporal Greg Tinglin and Odell Buckley and Private Arnold Henry. Keith Clark was killed inside his Kirkland Heights home in St. Andrew on May 26, 2010, during a police military operation to nab then fugitive Christopher Dudiscoke, who was wanted by the United States for gun and drug trafficking. Earlier on Tuesday, during cross-examination of the witness, Nita Robertson revealed that Dr. Clark had given a statement saying that her husband could have fired his last firearm at the soldiers. Dr. Clark had told the court previously that when the security forces swooped down on their house and gunshots started to ring out, her husband told her to take her teenage daughter into the bathroom inside the master bedroom and hid there. She said she knew he went outside before coming back into the room and climbed atop the closet to hide. She had given evidence that her husband was shot as he attempted to come down from the top of the closet, and that he did not have anything in his hand when he was climbing down. "You were aware that your husband returned fire in defense of his life and property at the time you made this statement. Were you aware of it? Nita Robertson asked Dr. Clark on Tuesday. I did not see, Dr. Clark replied. Nita Robertson then asked her why she made the statement saying so. Dr. Clark replied, if the ballistics prove that it came from his gun, that is the stance I have to take. Nita Robertson shot back, you of your own version made a statement that your husband fired at the security forces outside. So you lied on your husband? I'm just asking you. You are not only said it in the affidavit, you said to KC Peter Champagne in the preliminary hearing that you swore on the Bible to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. Dr. Clark responded that she had assumed that her husband fired at the security forces. I did not see him. I know that he left the room and went out, and we were inside the bathroom, she stated. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.